I'm looking at remodeling this room and I want to figure out where the can lights should be positioned. This is the back side. The wall will be attached here. So this is, it would kind of look like that, I guess, from the camera's angle. So you would be getting lighting from the back on the wall up. And the reason I'm doing this, I don't really want to actually see the light bulb. I just want to have the room lit in a with a glow. Hey, I'm doing some remodeling in a room, totally changing everything about it, and I want to start with the lighting. I want to figure out what kind of lighting I'm going to put in. I decided I'm going to go with canless recessed lights, and I've narrowed it down to these two choices here. And I've done some testing with it. I've actually screwed them up into the ceiling and comparing the two. And I like the 6-inch, and I'm looking at the 4-inch. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to the 4-inch, have a smaller hole to cut in the drywall, and maybe have a little more freedom of where to place it. The 6-inch and the 4-inch, they're very comparable. So the difference here, you can see, you can compare the specs there. There's not a whole lot. Everything's pretty much the same except the lumens. And you can see the lumens is 719 on a 6-inch versus 652 on the 4-inch. So there's not a lot of difference in the brightness. And there's still the same color options you can get. So what I've got two of these 4-inch fixtures configured. I've got them connected and I've got them powered. And I'm also looking at using this dimmer switch here, and I decided to go with the Halo, or I'm thinking about it, because it's the same brand as the lighting, and I figured, well, if they're manufacturing the lighting, they would probably make it compatible. But so I did try the same LED dimmer on this product, and it did not work very well at all. It was flickering and unstable, and I'm not going to be able to use it. And at that point I was deciding that maybe this is no good, but I decided to use it on and try it on the same brand LED can lights, and it works great. It actually works like I was expecting it to work. And so I'm still going to use this tape light, but I'm just going to have to find a different dimmer, and I may just actually buy a 24-volt variable power supply, and because it's just 24 volts DC down to about 14, and just have a knob to control the voltage. That would get a very linear, precise control of the light without flickering. For now, I've got these two hooked up, and I've got one of these dimmers installed in this box for testing. And the way it works, there's a toggle switch here that turns the lights on and off, and there's a slider that you can toggle. You can slide it up and down for the brightness. And there's also two other adjustments here. There's a black dial and a white dial. I'll zoom in on that a little bit so you can see that in detail. It's a pretty important feature for setting up these LEDs. So what I'm talking about here is there's a black dial here, a rotary dial, and a white dial here. And what the black dial does is dials down. You can set it to the lowest setting, and you can still see the lights illuminated. And you can rotate this dial and set the low point, like the lowest point that you want light to come on. And what you do is you start brighter and then dim down. And that's kind of an important thing to note, because sometimes the LEDs won't come on correctly if you try to turn them on initially from a very low setting. And so that's what this white dial does. And I'll show you what I mean. The white dial adjusts how much the voltage ramps up when you first turn it on to get the LEDs working, and then it slowly brings it down to the black level setting. So I'll show you when I turn the switch on after it's been off a while. If you have it set too high, you'll get like an annoying flash. I'll show you that, where it'll be really bright and then it'll dim down. So you really don't want that. You just want them to come on to the right level, maybe a little brighter, and then drop it down. You see how that changed a little bit? Now I'll rotate the white down a little more. See, now they're just coming on gently and slowly. And I think you might want it to come on just a little bit more at first, because it may be different in cold weather. Probably something like that, where they come on and then they dim down.